What's going on, everybody? It is the one and only Q here from Retro Q Gaming with what I could only call a little bit of a public service announcement today for something strange. This one goes out to all you PS5 owners out there, all 16 of you, if you can manage to not have your console break and be DOA from poor shoddy manufacturing. But anyway, that's beside the point. Sony have just released the first major firmware update. There have been smaller console updates and whatnot, but this is the first major firmware update for the PlayStation 5 and its OS. Now, there's a couple of things out there regarding what's included in here, and we're going to skip over most of it because I want to give a big highlight to what's basically the big important one. Now, I'm not talking the updated version of the fan, the updated version of the disk drive, where they'll both run slightly quieter and whatnot. No. We're going to talk about the most important feature that is going to be added, or rather that has been added in this new firmware update. And that is that it has added the ability to copy and store your PlayStation 5 games on external USB storage, be it an external hard disk drive or an external solid state drive. You can now store them on external drives, which is the more important thing. Now, it is of course important to note you cannot play the PlayStation 5 games from these external USB devices. You can only store them, aka cold storage as it's sometimes called. But the big important one is that we've said multiple times, it can be stored on there. And the big reason why this is important is the PlayStation 5 has a very small, or a relatively small, SSD. It's 825 gigabytes, and of course, when you factor in how formatting is done, as well as the actual operating system and all too, you're going to come in with, I believe the usual coin term I see around there, or coin number, is about 660 gigabytes, give or take. I don't keep up with it. So naturally, given the fact that new PS5 and Xbox Series mess games, and obviously just modern games in general, are much higher quality because of much higher assets, because of much higher resolutions. This 660-ish gigabytes will fly away in no time, even if a lot of the console games still use medium to low quality assets. But it still flies away space-wise. And the reason why this is important is that it is quicker to transfer via USB from an external drive, preferably of course a USB 3.0 SSD would be your best option. It's significantly quicker to transfer off these drives versus re-downloading the game if it's a PlayStation Store game, or reinstalling from the disc. You will be significantly faster transferring from even an external even an external hard disk drive, let alone an external SSD. This is something many Sony fans have been asking for, simply because, well, they kind of get butthurt at the fact that Microsoft and the Xbox Series mess consoles have had this ability since day one. It was especially useful for the likes of the Xbox Series S, which only had a 500 gigabyte drive, even smaller than the PS5. And of course, it's still important to note that this doesn't change in any way, shape or form your ability to play PlayStation 4 games from external hard drives or external solid state drives, as you always could. After all, those games were designed around really poor, slow, hard disk mechanical drives, so naturally, you can do them just like that. It's good to see big anti-consumer Sony actually doing something like this. Honestly, I never expected them to cave and add it as a feature. And just in case you're wondering, no, this firmware update does not enable the extra SSD slot in the PlayStation 5. So you still can't add any new external storage. Or I guess would it count as external storage? Let's call it expanded storage. Even though there are multiple different SSDs that are significantly faster than the PlayStation 5's SSD and have been available prior to the PS5's launch. Hell, I have two of them in my computer right now. Apparently that update though is coming later this year in summer at some point. But anyway, now you're not forced to choose between 3 different games kept installed, or really just Call of Duty and nothing else. So go pick up a nice, mechanical hard drive, get one of them 8TB bad boys, install all your games. Oh, wait a minute, there's not even any games on the new consoles to add up to that.